Good afternoon again. This is another video. I guess I did forget something, but I guess because of the time, it was better to make another video rather than make the other one, the first one that it's already uploading as I speak, to make a new one. Now this one is going to be more of evaluating if inbreeding is only good for production and not for function. Okay, so this is inbreeding, producing versus function, or production versus function. Okay, people say, and a lot of people today are not really looking into line breeding or family breeding to get functional animals, functional American Pitbull Terriers. And they feel that, for example, I consider him not scatterbred, but not family bred. It's not family. A person I respect a lot says that dog is a three-way cross. So I do want to mention that, even though I don't see it as such. But again, he doesn't mean that I'm right. I mean, he's wrong. I might be wrong, and I just don't see it yet. So I respect him enough to mention that some people have said that Títere is a three-way cross. I see him more of a scatterbred dog or loose-bred dog, if I want to be nice. And then they feel that a lot of dogs just working, and that's it, without very little regard to genetic composition or genetic tree or family tree, however you want to mention it. Now, I want to say that this is wrong, and but partially wrong. People that believe that if you want a functional animal, the dog has to be loose bred or a cross from different families. I believe that yes, you're definitely going to get winners, or rather workers, if you cross worker to worker, functional to functional. There is a likelihood that you're going to get functional animals up front. Okay, that I say up front because that is what you're making the dog's temperament, their traits, their feel for the work, those two individuals. But if you want to continue down that line with the same family, you're going to lose a lot, because you're putting a lot of how would I say, a lot of different types of alleles. Which, remember, the alleles are the ones that different types of genes, or different versions of the gene. So you have more of a gumbo. If you live in the United States, you know what a gumbo is, especially if you're from Louisiana. Instead of getting some sort of uniformity in the genetic composition of the family or the grouping of those you're wanting to maintain. I believe that, wow, yes, if you bring winner to winner with little to no regard to pedigree, you're still going to get winners in the first, maybe second generation. However, it's going to get harder, to maintain that longevity of good dogs, generation to generation, if you're not keeping, if you're not thinking of genetics, if you're not thinking of the genetic composition of every animal you're putting together, you're going to have a harder time to maintain, or create dogs that produce themselves or better. Now, I'm going to mention dogs from the Balkans, or the people in the Balkan area of in Europe. They have the philosophy, at least from what I understand, of just breeding working dog to working dog, and without little regard to without little regard to family traits or family breeding, and you see that shows up in the way that those dogs look. Those dogs, you have a diversity of looks in the Balkan dogs. Okay, they have all kinds of dogs there. They look all kinds of ways. Obviously, still looking like American Pitbull Terriers, but they don't have the uniformity that families or strains have here in the United States. So now I want to mention some animals that perhaps the young generations have forgotten that resulted in not just one strain of dogs, but they were the catalyst to producing several strains of dogs, several strains of American Pitbull Terrier. Now let's look at Red Boy. Red Boy is a prime example. Red Boy is a result of father to daughter breeding. Okay, and that Red Boy line has, created many different lines by itself, or give you an example. Champion Yellow John. Champion Yellow John is inbred on Red Boy. And again, I'm just going by the book, what it says on the books. I know that all these old dogs many times have secondary pedigrees that some people believe that are the correct ones and the other ones are not correct. Well, for these examples, I am going to go by what the record shows, or at least what common of the public belief. So I already mentioned Red Boy. I already mentioned Yellow John. Yellow John was a great producer on its own, and again, he was inbred. A 4-time winner inbred. Was bred to a inbred Jocko dog with a Red Boy out. Miss Jocko RRM. Miss Jocko was an inbred Jocko, as I said. And now, when both were brought together, which is called a battle cross. Now, a battle cross, you have to make sure you can't just call bringing two families together a battle cross if the the dogs up front haven't done anything. If the dogs up front haven't confirmed themselves, haven't shown themselves to be true, they're not. If they haven't, then it's not a battle cross. It's just a cross of two families. But in this circumstance, Yellow John and Miss Jocko, as far as I know, were proving animals that produce Grand Champion Yellow. Grand Champion Yellow. And again, you could go down that line and see that he produced great animals. And I'm talking about dogs that, obviously from the 70s, the 80s, so people that are just listening out of random selections understand that I'm talking history. My channel is about history. So anyway, I believe that inbreeding, even though the AKC doesn't, accept it, it believes that it does more damage than positive, like they did to the German Shepherd dog. I believe if done properly and carefully, and with mind, not just in function but in also health, I think that it can work well to improve the breed. Anyway, I'm going to have to put another dog inside because my man over there doesn't like one of my females here, doesn't like that male, so I need to get the female inside some one of the cages and let him come out because I think he wants to use the bathroom. But, right, boss man? Anyway, this is Tony Montana. Until next time.